It's time to become more aggressive and assertive with what you want to change in your life. If you've been coasting along, if you've gotten into a comfort zone and you've just sort of settled for things that aren't really what you want, you're not completely happy or thrilled or engaged in different areas in your life, then question it. Really start to make a change. Don't just keep putting up with the same old and being okay because you've gotten comfortable with the familiarity of it. Instead, challenge yourself and ask yourself, is this really what I want? Am I really happy with what I have? Or do I want to grow? Do I want to expand? Because the essence of life is growth. And if you've settled in and you've gotten too comfortable and too used to what's going on, the routines, the patterns, you don't break them, your environment, you don't change it, right? Then it all becomes kind of samey, yesterday bleeds into today, and then that bleeds into tomorrow, and they all feel almost the same. Then it's time to shake everything up completely. That means go to a different country. That means buy a new vehicle or some kind of new sport that you get into. Find something that's so different from what you're used to and break the whole familiarity, the whole routine, the whole default nature, the autopilot. Make a change, because if you keep doing what you're doing, then you keep getting more of what you're getting. And if you're not thrilled, then it's time to make a change. Because there's so much more out there. There's so much for you to explore, to get to know. There's probably areas close to where you live that you've never even explored or been to. There are people that you definitely haven't met. There's so much opportunity that's right around the corner, but we never take it because we're used to what we're used to, and we want more of what we already have because we're addicted to those same emotions, to those same patterns, to those same cycles. But if you decide that enough is enough and you've got to do things differently, you've got to break the pattern, then all of a sudden you start to feel alive again. And I want you to feel alive. I want you to feel excited about life, not to fall into this default comfort zone, not this old pattern that you've gotten used to. Of course, it's nice to have routines. It's nice to have things that are predictable and they support your growth. They help you, be a better person. That's wonderful. But not all of it does. Maybe you're watching some shows that you shouldn't be watching. Maybe you're just spending a little bit too much time on the couch, or maybe you're just around the same people all the time and you never explore, you never expand, right? Well, do you want to keep doing that? Are you happy? Are you fulfilled? Are you truly satisfied, or are you just used to it? How about the income that you make or the food that you're eating? What do you need to change? What do you need to shake up? And ask yourself, what's one thing that I could change for the next 30 days that would make me feel excited, that would test me, that would push me, that would make me have to expand? Pick one uncomfortable habit or one new thing that you challenge yourself with, and all of a sudden you'll feel like your whole life is more meaningful, more engaging. It doesn't have to be revolution across every front. It can be something simple, something subtle, but that can make a huge difference. Pick up a new instrument, try a new sport, go to a different area, meet new people, right? Challenge yourself out of what you're used to in order to really grow, in order to create rapid change. Or maybe you want to learn a new language. Maybe you want to read a different kind of book that you've never read before. Or maybe you haven't been reading, you've just been watching stuff and doom scrolling, and now you pick up a book and that changes the way that you think. Because when you repeat the same patterns, you get the same outcomes. But when you break the patterns, you get new outcomes. And that shows you, wait a second, there's more here. There's something new, there's something different, and it makes me feel different, and it gives me different ideas. And all of a sudden, I start making different decisions. And when I make different decisions, I get more new outcomes, right? Do you see how this starts to snowball? The momentum builds from one simple thing that you change. You don't have to change everything. You change one thing, and it changes everything else. You start to feel inspired, and then you inspire yourself even more. And then you start to feel, the boost and the effect of novelty in your brain too, because you're doing things that are new and it makes you feel more engaged. And it's really crazy how one thing leads to another. I remember I tried snowboarding for the first time, and then before you know it, I'm in Portugal surfing. I'd never picked up a surfboard before. So it's really just pushing yourself out of your comfort zone that gets you into new experiences, that gets you trying things that you never would have tried otherwise. And all of a sudden, your whole life looks completely different because you decide, you know what, I'm going to travel over here. I'm going to try this different career path. I'm going to choose this thing because, you know, this makes me happier than what I've been doing before. And just the change already, that boosts your mood so much. It drives up your energy. And then from that, all the new paths that start to open up that you didn't see before, because before you were just used to what you were used to and you were doing more of that. In a sense, things don't change until you change. You decide when things are going to be different. If you stumble into it and you get lucky, that's great. But, you know, we can't count on that. Instead, we should be proactive and take action and drive ourselves towards new experiences all the time. It has to be consistent in your life. Keep pushing yourself out of your comfort zone so that you don't settle into one at all. It's easier to keep that momentum than it is to try to break out if you've settled in. If you've gotten too comfortable, you really have to pull yourself out, because if you keep doing what you're doing, you keep getting more of what you're already getting. And if you'd like to really break up all the old patterns, you know, push yourself to be a better version of yourself, the best version of yourself, then I invite you to jump over to erafael.com so that you can get personal coaching, support, and accountability from me directly. We'll speak, see if it's a good fit, and if so, I can't wait to coach you. Again, go to erafael.com, link is in the description, and you can book a one-on-one call there. As always, I hope that you enjoyed this one, and I will catch you on the next one.